The year is 2000. The dot-com bubble has burst. But internet optimism has survived. Dreams of dynamic new business models mingle with radical new visions of democracy. Cities like Bengaluru explode onto the scene, with flourishing new software businesses and tech parks. The UN is eager to build digital bridges to the billions trapped in poverty, and projects of development have their first encounter with the digital. This is when we come together. A small group of development practitioners, lawyers, journalists, and IT professionals determined to seize the digital moment and bring power to the edges, to redirect technology for equality and justice. The first years are heady and full of experimentation, thinking global and acting local. We build our community resource strategy using the internet for women-led knowledge cultures, informing national policy with learnings from the field. We cut our teeth in the corridors of multilateralism, championing our vision at the landmark WSIS summits.
We are a global community, and yet we do not have the arrangements that are adequate and accountable to the poorest woman.
We begin playing our part to shape the digital agenda. India in 2008. It is a milestone year in the country's digital journey. E-governance is the new mantra, the big promise to transform public services. Tech CEOs are busy courting bureaucrats, and education is the test lab for a new generation of public-private partnerships. We see this for what it is, the future of 240 million children. We forge a network of educators across the country and galvanize a powerful momentum that persuades the ministry to step back. Vendor-driven tech makes way for democratic policy making, laying the foundation for the ensuing national ICT policy and its endorsement of public software in government schools.
Significant aspects of IT for Change's work has been its interface with the government educational machinery. IT for Change was able to catalyze and sustain itself, hold on to, has been the free and open source software idea. Helping the government form an opinion about these things, sort of keep itself level-headed, not jump in with public money, being squandered away on various gizmos. I think that should be termed as the most significant IT for Change influence on the government education things.
We take the spirit of publicness to emerging digital frontiers, calling for public participation in e-governance. Meanwhile, our information centers in the field are using GIS to map local infrastructures and building community media cultures, all long before the age of social media platforms. It is 2011. The Occupy movement is up in arms, and the Arab Spring is raging. The revolution, it seems, could actually be tweeted. Social networks are the new hope for democracy. We urge caution. Our multi-country research is pointing to blind spots in the prevailing narrative.
That the technologies may be new, but the power relations are not new.
I think we got to get out of the trap of thinking of access as inclusion. We should not think of solving the digital divide as solving the question of inclusion, vulnerability, and equity.
We look at new ICTs. We're also looking at a whole new set of inequalities that have grown out of old inequalities.
Online expression, we find, is increasingly fodder for capital. You are not asked to be quiet. You are in fact told to express yourself, so long as you serve the attention economy. This is voice without agency. We know that the internet must be reclaimed, the internet of real agency and choice. Then comes 2013, the year of the Snowden revelations. The veil of innocence is gone and the internet's dark secrets are out. Big tech servers are now the infrastructure of empire, and the contours of surveillance capitalism have emerged into the public light. As digital rights organizations are reeling from the betrayal, it is our told you so moment. And we know what must be done. International solidarity is the need of the hour. Along with leading activists, scholars, and civil society organizations from across the globe, we launch the JustNet Coalition. Our Delhi Declaration is a clarion call to go back to the real basics and envision a digital world beyond a society of control. The year is 2017. At the WTO, the US and its allies bring forth their Trojan horse, digital trade rules, an extractive agenda for endless access to data flows from the South, while forestalling digital taxation and evading all market regulation. We fiercely oppose this blatantly colonial gambit. Joining hands with the trade justice movement, we reach policymakers across the global South. We highlight the risks to the global South of free cross-border data flows. A digital trade agenda for development, we assert, needs alternative policy visions. We bring out cutting-edge research, unpacking dataism, and calling for platform and AI models that are based on equity and technological autonomy. In 2020, the year of the pandemic, and the dark underbelly of digital capitalism is in full view. In India, education is a focal point of lockdown disruption with catastrophic consequences. The explosion of predatory EdTech companies is only adding fuel to the fire. We combine advocacy and intervention in equal measure. Our National Education Emergency Campaign plays a vital role in nudging state authorities to act. Parallelly, turning to our tried and tested open educational resource models, we develop a child-centric, teacher-led, public EdTech architecture that we take to government schools across across the country. As COVID brings the horrific exploitation of the gig economy to the center of public discourse, our strategies push for the crucial recognition of the rights of gig workers. Denouncing the brazen opportunism of big tech, we call for a digital New Deal.
When I first became aware of IT for Change, it was immediately apparent to me that it brought something very different, solid analytical and research-based perspective. And I think that's very important. It's very empowering for the non-for-profit sector and for civil society organizations. I think IT for Change has gone that extra step, which is actually to look at the data, capture the experience, write up case studies, document the harmful impacts and sometimes also the positive impacts of technology, and to do that consistently from a feminist perspective as well.
And I believe that the work of IT for Change to think about how digital colonialism is relevant to understand that we need a different approach to digital technologies, that it's not a matter only of having people connected. It also matters how people is connected and for what. And that's why I think that the work of IT for Change shows that analyzing the digital economy through a political economy lens is fundamental.
It is 2023, and the age of generative AI is upon us. While the exuberance of the tech community is relentless, a wider disquiet is brewing. An unprecedented concentration of wealth in the hands of a few, and the ceaseless flows of misinformation are fraying the social fabric. We turn to systematic research, exploring echo chambers and their extreme misogyny, unraveling the politics of work in a neo-colonial economy, breaking down the story of the data gold rush. It is more than time for new narratives and alternative models. Reimagining new innovation futures, we bring the platform cooperative community together. We use satire and slang to engage Gen Z in schools and build a ground-up curriculum for critical digital literacy. We architect an open-source AI model for early language learning, and we create a judicial toolkit for gender-based violence. We realize that a bold, new, transnational space for civic action must be created. Thus is born the Global Digital Justice Forum, an ambitious coalition of global justice organizations and movements. We continue to serve as the secretariat of the forum.
The role that IT for Change has played in steering the Global Digital Justice Forum as a space of a really open dialogue and the possibility of cross-cutting learnings that would allow us that come from very different angles of the fight for justice to really embed ourselves in the context of a really strong and effective advocacy agenda together is being really a turning point for many organizations.
The organization is 25 years now, which same age with me. So I think we could see like how long the organization has consistently shown that digitalization is not merely a technical process, but more like a deeply political one. So for me, as a researcher working on the issue of labor platform cooperativism and also the idea of social and solidarity economy, or SSE, especially in Southeast Asia and my country, Thailand, I see that IT for Change work as a vital reference point. For example, the contributions to global policy debates and its advocacy for more worker-centered frameworks.
I think, being here in this effort of this institute on digital justice that IT for Change has initiated 2 years ago, and also now bringing in more partners. So we are also ourselves organizing ourselves better. And so we are finding out so much thinking, experience, energy. And one thing that struck me again and again, people said, coming to this week, I don't feel so lonely, I feel more confident. And I think that's really what it's about. Advocacy is about knowledge, analysis. Don't run away from having detailed work on research, but then how to use that research, where and to what purpose. And I think that conversation, places like this help us to just build those alliances and the knowledge.
The project of democracy is in a civilizational crisis. Public institutions the world over are being hollowed out. The promise of digitization has failed the people, and it is hurting the planet. But we choose to take the side of hope. We are proud to be part of communities that are authoring powerful new narratives of change and working towards a digital future that is just. We are also deeply grateful for the vote of confidence we have from friends and allies across the world. In these times of complexity and uncertainty, we recommit to bridging historical memory with daring visions of the future to build a digitality that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. The future is digital. Join us in making our digital future public.